All right. We're back with another beautiful episode of Unlocked Live with Key and BB. We are about a month in. Or are we over a month in? No, we're about a month in, right?
I think wasn't our first show October 31st, Halloween? Or no, we started on a Monday.
It was like right before Halloween. So we are close. We are pretty close to a month in.
Yeah.
We are exactly 1 week away from Thanksgiving, which is I'm gonna be honest with you, that is Key's favorite freaking holiday. I'm talking like you get to the eats on Thanksgiving are elite. I have a mini trivia for you. Just one question. Do you know who the very first team to play Thanksgiving football was?
I mean, I feel like it's got to be the Bears or Packers, right?
Incorrect. It was the Detroit Lions. I don't know exactly what year. I was at trivia last night at Sycamore Tap Room here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that was one of the trivia questions. My guess was the Dallas Cowboys. That was also incorrect, and it was the Detroit Lions. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll fire. You know what? I'm gonna fire one more mini trivia question at you from Trivia Night at Sycamore Tap Room. What is the heaviest weighted turkey of all time? Is it 45 pounds, 65 pounds, or 85 lbs?
85 lbs is a ridiculous turkey. I'm going to go 65.
It was an 85 pound. It took 3 days to cook, according to.
Can you imagine that thing sitting on your Thanksgiving dinner table?
Who picked it up?
I mean, 85 pounds. That's like, absolutely ridiculous. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? The one.
I mean, narrowing it down to one is like
mine's weird.
I guess if I had to do one, it would be mac and cheese. I guess.
I mean,
but
that's
what's
top
yours?
5 for sure. You might think it's a little weird. I'm a big cream corn guy. I could eat the whole bowl. I can
see cream corn not being absolutely terrible, I guess. I've had it like once or twice ever.
No, it's requested for me every year. It's gotta be Thanksgiving and Christmas. Gotta have it both.
If you really want me to build an item, like it would be a Hawaiian roll chopped in half. You get a little bit of ham, get a little bit of mac and cheese, and then you sprinkle on, you can really add anything into that. You know what I mean? But like, I'll throw some mashed potatoes and gravy in there. 100%. That is the best. That is the best possible item on Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving, and it's not even close.
Yeah, the roll. I'm a ham over turkey guy myself as well. So
yeah,
sometimes you have some people's turkey and it's like you're eating styrofoam. It's kind of like what are we doing here? Like it couldn't be drier, man.
Turkey is way too easy to mess up. You know what I mean? Like I've definitely had more poop turkey than I've ever had juicy turkey.
Yeah, absolutely.
But juicy turkey is very good. I will say juicy turkey is very good. We've got a good friend of ours here with us today, and we're going to continue to talk about a little bit of Thanksgiving, just because Thanksgiving's a big piece of football, if I were to say so myself, and it's my favorite holiday. So why not get into it just a little bit before we get into the ball? Here with us now is our man Maxie Stats. What up, Maxie?
Yo, what's going on? Just real quick. Cream corn? We see it.
You ever had it?
Corn is trash.
It's a casual take.
Corn is trash. The best Thanksgiving
favorite dish.
Best Thanksgiving dish has got to be green bean casserole or sweet potato casserole.
I can support the sweet potato casserole, but the green beans.
Green bean casserole is crazy. Deviled eggs are also up there, bro. Deviled eggs. No, they're up there. No,
they're not up there. That is the absolute last dish to go in the refrigerator, and I think we all know that. Like 4 days after, still sitting there. And
I got yelled at last year because the night before I got caught sneaking into the deviled eggs.
I could see you down there just in the.
That's gross. That's gross.
Yeah, I don't know about deviled eggs.
Well, what makes it that is Morgan's. That's always Morgan's request, and it's like, really, you want to nail some deviled eggs?
They're good, dude.
Let's stink up the whole house. Why don't we? I mean, good grief.
Come on,
Max. Did you were you here for a little bit of the early slate trivia for Thanksgiving edition?
Yeah, I was kind of playing along. I guess for the first one was Cowboys, and I also said 65.
I got one more since you decided to join us. How fast can a turkey run? 10 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, or 40 miles per hour?
I'm pretty sure turkeys can move a little bit. I'm gonna say oh wait, hold on. I gotta think about this. It's not 45. It's 100% not 45.
I would say
can they run faster than Tyreek Hill? Like that would look ridiculous.
I think they can. They're faster than 10.
I'll say 25. Yeah, I'll say 25.
25 miles per hour is correct, and that is shooting.
That's shooting. That's
shooting because they run on two legs, don't they?
Yeah.
And they just have the weirdest bodies. See them shooting at 25 miles per hour. I need to see that live in action.
Yeah,
I can't think of any of the other ones that he had for us, but that's those were some very surprising answers, if you ask me. The Carolina Panthers had another confidential come out yesterday, and there were no like Bryce Young specific moments in there, BB. I shot you a text pretty late yesterday, and I think it's because we really want to take Bryce Young out of the limelight. I think when he was in the limelight and it was really loud, it was a little too much for him. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe it's Dave Canales, maybe it's David Tepper, maybe even Bryce Young was like, hey, too much. Let me back off. But as you watch this sort of stuff, as Dave Canales talks about Bryce Young, you can tell there is no just hammer home Bryce Young. He didn't even have like a moment in there where they were like, Bryce Young was talking to the camera. Bryce Young was the center of attention. There was none of that in this confidential. How did you feel about that, in terms of Bryce Young just kind of being another player on the team?
I mean, I feel like, I agree with that. He had no spotlight in the show at all. It was straight like Trevin Wallace, Josie Jewell, Robert Hunt. Eddie had a little Eddie popped out in there for a second. Most accurate kicker in NFL history. But I think that is good for him. Obviously, the benching seems to have been good for him. We've played two pretty bad teams since he's been back, but he has looked better. And I think we have other leaders that can be leaders on the team rather than Bryce Young. Like Chuba Hubbard in that episode, like that's a guy that you want on your football team. The way he talks to the team and gets them fired up, he seems like a straight dog. Same thing with Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt, he is an enormous dude, but I feel like he plays with with so much joy. Like he wants to hurt the guy on the other end, but when he does hurt them or put them in the dirt, he's celebrating more than anybody else on the team. He put that one guy in the dirt on Chuba's run, and it was just running alongside him. It's like
yeah,
it's hilarious.
He has a freaking blast out there. I love the Robert Hunt signing. Early in the offseason, everyone's like, man, that was a lot of money to give that guy. But he is performing for every single dollar that we gave him, and he's been a great leader. And he reminds me a lot of comedic Drewski. You know what I mean? He's just a big boy who's just giggling around the whole time, messing around. It's like, yeah, man, like let's keep a guy like Robert Hunt around for a couple years, and let's see what that's going to do for our football team. That was
Eddie. I love He's just screaming at Eddie after he hit the game winner.
No doubt. Got no doubt. I know, BB, you had a pretty solid segment here for us today, and we're going to rapid fire. And I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce that segment. It is a new segment that we are bringing in this beautiful Thursday afternoon. So, what you got for us?
Okay, yeah, we are gonna you can once I say it, you can obviously think about it, and then but whenever you give your answer, for the one person out there that's spying on us, whenever you give your answer, make your answer rapid fire. Think about it, decide, and then just be like bang, bang, bang. Okay, it's just for the clipping's sake. So this is Start Bench Cut NFL edition. Our first group. Oh, give it a second. First group: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb.
Who's going first?
Doesn't matter.
You got it, Max.
I'm starting Justin Jefferson, benching Jamar Chase, and cutting CeeDee Lamb.
Start Jamar Chase, bench Justin Jefferson, cut CeeDee Lamb.
Dumbest, terrible take. Terrible take.
That was literally like the same thing as yours. I just kind of swapped around one player.
How are you not gonna start the best receiver in the league?
I mean,
That's
Jamar
debatable,
Chase
right?
That is
Jamar
not
Chase is
debatable. Come on,
Jamar
what are we
Chase
doing?
is having the best season as a wide receiver this year.
Yeah, you love recency bias. So I expected that answer from you.
I mean, no, I'm starting the guy this year who's had the better season, and that's who I'm starting.
Let's get Justin Jefferson on Joe Burrow's team. Let's get that.
I don't know. I mean,
Jettas is having a great year with Sam Darnold.
I mean,
he was making Sam Darnold look like a potential MVP candidate.
Let's not act like Jamar Chase does not put up 30 fantasy points every single week, bro. He had
He's having a good year.
We don't need to get
okay, yeah.
We don't
having a good year.
Touchdowns, 150 yards.
Moving on. All right. Second group: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow.
Start Josh Allen. Are you going, Max?
No, you guys.
All right. Start Josh Allen. Bench Lamar Jackson. Cut. Who the fuck was the third guy? I don't even remember. I'm going to have to do that again.
Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
All right. Here we go. Start Josh Allen. Bench Joe Burrow. Cut Lamar Jackson.
Start Lamar Jackson. Bench Joe Burrow. Sit or wait, shit. Okay.
You're right. Yeah, go on.
I thought it was cut. Or is it sit?
It's cut. It is cut. You're right.
All right.
Start
Lamar Jackson. Okay.
We can't
start Lamar Jackson.
I mean, you can just say it in segments. I can cut it. You can just say them one at a time. Start
Lamar, bench Joe Burrow, cut Josh Allen.
You cannot cut Thanos, dude. He's actually the MVP. Josh Allen is the MVP this year, as it stands today.
Cutting Josh Allen's crazy.
And Joe Burrow's having, all right, Max, yeah. All right, clickbait, rage bait. Go ahead, buddy.
Rage bait. That's not rage bait. I'll take the two QBs with the two best stats in there.
All right. Third group: Alvin Kamara, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall.
Start Bijan Robinson, bench Breece Hall, cut Alvin Kamara.
Start Bijan Robinson, bench Breece Hall, cut Alvin Kamara.
Okay, pretty identical. We're gonna see if I can make that into a full video, but then I have 3 more groups as well. But if not, it would be nice to be able to make 2 out of it. But okay. Next group: Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley.
Start Saquon Barkley, bench Derrick Henry, cut Christian McCaffrey.
Start Saquon Barkley, bench Christian McCaffrey, cut Derrick Henry.
That's what mine would have been.
You just cannot cut the king. Like I don't care,
You
bro.
can cut the king. You can cut the king all day long.
You cannot
I
cut
feel like you guys are definitely. I think you guys should have different ones on this one. Next group: Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud.
Start Justin Herbert, bench Kyler Murray, cut CJ Stroud.
Everybody switches up on CJ quick, man.
Start Kyler Murray, bench CJ Stroud, cut Justin Herbert. Nobody cares about his golden jersey. Like, I don't really understand that.
Max had CJ Stroud in his top 5 QBs at the beginning of the year.
Now he's cut.
Oh, not anymore.
You wanna
That
talk
list has
about-
changed.
You want to talk about recency bias? Get a load of this guy.
No, that list has changed because he stinks.
All right, this is the final group. And Max had a wild take on one of these receivers in a would you rather. And let's see if he cleans it up here. Next group: Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You got it, Keith.
Start Garrett Wilson.
Oh my God.
Start Garrett Wilson. Bench Tyreek Hill. Cut Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Start Tyreek Hill, bench Garrett Wilson, cut Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh my God. The
What
moment
do
I
you
say my
mean?
start,
What
the
do you
moment
mean?
I say a start guy, you tweak out every time.
He's not better than
Wilson is
Tyreek
better
Hill.
than yes, he is.
Tyreek almost had 2,000 yards last year, bro. Come on, let's not do that.
Last
Let's not do that.
and
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald had about 2,000 yards a decade ago. Let's talk about that.
Dude, you're in it. You're
Like,
in
what are
it.
we talking
That's-
about here, man?
What a horrible take again from you. You have a lot of them.
You go watch Garrett Wilson play wide receiver and tell
I've
me
watched Garrett Wilson play receiver.
you mustn't have. There's no way you have.
I have. I definitely have.
Better than Reek.
No.
Was
fun.
that-
Garrett Wilson runs 5-yard curls and gets 20 targets a game.
it doesn't matter what route Garrett Wilson runs, he wins. He wins consistently. And if it's down the field in the back of the end zone, he'll click one toe and get that shin down, touchdown on your favorite cornerback's head. It doesn't matter, bro. Like,
Wow.
what we're talking about.
We're gonna need
Well,
some
I don't
thoughts
know.
on those. Hold on.
I don't
We're gonna
know
need some
who-
thoughts on those. Hold on, Max. We're gonna need some thoughts on those. Now, Keith. We're gonna need some. Hold on. We're gonna need some thoughts on those. That'll be the end of the clip.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. That
That was good.
was good. That was good. All right. Let's get into this Thursday night football game. Maxie says that he
Thursday
just
night.
might have a mortal lock for us here today. And I just wanted to introduce this segment, Maxie. You have a guy who is an ESPN analyst who has a similar take to what you've been saying.
Situation talking about the sacks and Russell holding on to the football. Last 3 weeks, 11 sacks. That's the third most in the NFL, behind like Caleb Williams. Okay, so does that start to rear its
You're
head?
putting that on him or the line?
It's him. It more often than not. Okay, that's
Okay.
more often than not him. And I think what you've started to see teams, and Baltimore did it, was they taking away as many opportunities with those deep balls as we've seen to
Move
George
balls, yeah.
Pickens. So they're just playing off of George, and they're double teaming him when he's in the slot. And so I want to see the counters for Pittsburgh. We were talking about this in the last 20 Super Bowls. Okay, that means 40 participants in the Super Bowl, multiple teams or teams going multiple times. There's been 3 teams that have had worse red zone offenses than the Steelers out of 40. That's the 2006 Bears, the 2010 Steelers, actually, and the 15 Broncos.
Yeah.
So it's just My job is to figure out the whys or things that won't happen. The Steelers are a very good football team. If they don't get to the AFC title game, or what might not make them a legit Super Bowl contenders, you are not going to beat Lamar. You're not going to beat Josh Allen. You're not going to beat Patrick Mahomes kicking field goals.
So that is what Dan Orlowski seems to think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The question is, are the Pittsburgh Steelers a top 3 team in the AFC? And Dan Orlowski's like, yeah, I mean, they're fine. They're good. But my job is to say, if they aren't a top 3 team, this is the reason why. It's because they cannot score touchdowns in the red zone. You cannot beat the best teams in the AFC kicking field goals every time you get into the red zone. The pushback to that is obviously, well, they just beat Lamar Jackson kicking straight field goals. But Max, how do you feel about what Dan Orlowski had to say? Is that what you're trying to get at in terms of the Pittsburgh Steelers not being a top 3 team in the AFC?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the perfect video to sum up basically what I was trying to say. I think what was he talking about at the beginning of the video, saying that Russ had taken 12 sacks or whatever it was?
Yeah, so I think he's in the last couple of weeks, he's a top 3. He's taken the top 3 most amount of sacks, right behind Caleb Williams and guys like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's, it's like how long can field goals beat these, good teams? It's like, yeah, it works in the regular season, and then once it comes to the playoffs, everything kind of seems to just tune up a little bit. Like that's what I've been saying. I mean, even from the beginning of the year, the Steelers are going to go 500. They're probably going to make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, like they're just not going to make a run in the playoffs because they don't have that offensive firepower that's needed to make a run.
I feel that. I feel like having one of the worst red zone offenses is definitely something that will, as Dan Orlowski says, rear its head come playoff time, because you have to be able to close those drives down. I feel like, I don't know why they can't. They have Najee Harris, who's very strong with running the football. They've got an offensive line. I'm surprised that Russell Wilson has taken so many sacks as of late. But, I mean, if you think about this Cleveland Browns team, if you're taking sacks, if you're not closing down drives, Myles Garrett will get home. This is a solid Cleveland Browns defense with Denzel Ward on the outside as well. And it's like, you better watch yourself, Pittsburgh. If you're not going to close out drives, you better hope Jameis Winston on the other side doesn't get going. BB, how do you feel about this game with Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I mean, this is one of the weirdest games of the season, maybe, I think. Thursday night at Cleveland, we got an 8-2 Steelers team versus a 2-8 Browns team, in the line's only 3.5. Tell me how that makes any sense. They're a team that's at top of their division versus the worst team in their division is only 3.5-point favorites. That's a little fishy, but I think it's supposed to be under 40 degrees. And I was watching the Pat McAfee show today, and Michael Lombardi was talking about, he's a former GM. He said when they were evaluating Jameis Winston coming out of college, Jameis Winston had like unusually small hands. And I feel like that's kind of weird because I feel like Jameis is kind of a big dude. So it's kind of weird that he has many hands. And he says this is also Jameis Winston's first career game where the temperature is going to be below 40 degrees. And he said that's part of the reason why they look at hand size at the combine, is because can they play in the cold? Because it's harder to grip. It's harder to throw your spiral. It's harder to play in these cold conditions. So he said he thinks Jameis Winston's really going to struggle. First game in the cold conditions, mixed with the small hands, mixed with playing against a good Steelers defense. I think this game, it might be – I feel like this game could be 10-3. Like, I feel like this – and it's supposed to be cold, wet, and rainy and snowy. So, like – it might be 3-0. This game might be 3-0.
It might be 3-0. And the fact that this is Jameis Winston's very first game in the NFL playing in under 40-degree weather, starting in under 40-degree weather. Like that's surprising because, I mean, I feel like he's been in the league for almost, 8 years maybe. So, I mean, I guess this whole small hands thing is going to come into play. I was telling BB before the show, I mean, when it's cold like this, when it's raining like this, I didn't want to play. Straight up. I did not care if it was a playoff game. I didn't care if we were going for the state championship when it was high school, if it were for the conference championship in college. Like, when it's this cold and it's raining and there's a mixture of snow in there, it's like, man, this is going to be a tough one, especially these NFL guys. They just played on Sunday. They just had a game Sunday. And they have to taste this, the big hits, and there's like, you're still feeling last Sunday. Man, give me a break. We'll see how many points they can put up. I think the over-under is set at 37.5. You can pretty much take the under to the bank. I don't know what Maxie has for us in terms of a mortal lock, but I don't know how many points are going to be scored in Cleveland tonight. Max, what do you think about, like, I guess your favorite plays for this game? I know you're talking about a mortal lock. Do you have a mortal lock for the guys today?
Yeah, I actually do. It's gonna be something a little different than what we've done. I mean, like BB said, yeah, it's gonna be a really weird game, gonna be nasty weather conditions. Divisional primetime games tend to be low scoring as it is. So here's what I got. I've got the Cleveland Browns alternate spread +7. And then I am pairing that with David Njoku alternate 25 receiving yards. I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to do a really good job of playing defense on whatever Browns receiver he's lined up against. I think in prime time, you gotta go with your trustworthy guy, David Njoku. He gets a boatload target every game. Jameis loves him. I do think that, they might run the ball a few more times than normal, but at the end of the day, it's Jameis Winston. That guy, if it's a run play and he don't like it, he's audibling to a pass, 100%. I mean, he threw for 400 yards last week. So I like David Njoku just to get 25 yards. And I think it is a -120 bet if you pair those together.
Okay. I like it. BB, how do you feel about the mortal lock today?
Mortal lock changing up, going for a little 2-man lay, hey?
Also,
watered down, a little watered down. Yeah, I like it though.
I think like 80% of bets are on the Steelers spread. So I mean, as you guys know, we love fading the public in prime time.
Cleveland Browns are at home too, right?
Yeah, it's a home dog.
That would make them a home dog, baby. I mean, part of me, I don't know. I feel like the Steelers have been getting disrespected by Vegas all year long. Like, they are dogs and they end up winning the game. They are barely favored and end up clearing that spread. Like, I don't exactly know what their record is against the spread this season, but I do know for a couple of weeks now they have been, proven Vegas wrong. They've proved me wrong. Last week I took the Baltimore Ravens on the road versus the Steelers, and a big win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I feel like this is the week where all that comes to an end. And I believe the Cleveland Browns being home dogs is something that you can kind of sprinkle yourself. That's not something that I would hammer. I'm hammering the under. But if you were to take a little something, maybe the Cleveland Browns as dogs at home in what's going to be a defensive battle. The truth is, there might not be 4 points scored in this game. There might be 3-0, and you win. You cash out at 3.5. And so, I mean, that's definitely worth sprinkling, BB. Do you have a team that you're eyeing down? Do you like the home dog in the Cleveland Browns?
I think we said it before the show that I think this would qualify as a true definition of a fade game. This is a game where you see that line and you just straight up you don't like either side. You don't. But I've been riding with the Steelers all year. These people have been sleeping on them. I've been riding when they're disrespected, but I'm still riding with the Pittsburgh Steelers -3.5. This game, it could bite you in the butt with the Steelers winning by 3, winning by a field goal like 10-7. But what I got in my notes here, I got the Steelers winning 17-10.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good score.
Yeah, I like that.
Max, who you got tonight?
I got the Browns, man. I got the Browns. I think this line is too weird. I think people have been kind of raking off Vegas for just a bit too long, and I think Vegas is making the call. Because, I mean, this game, it's not going to really help or hurt either of these team seasons. I mean, the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. The Browns are – it might hurt their draft chances, but I think Vegas is kind of stepping in on this one.
I don't like the truth. The fact of the matter is I'm taking the Browns. I don't love either side. Like BB said, this is a definition of a fade game. And I'm fading. I mean, if I had to fade, which we don't fade around here, we go straight to the hoop and we lay them up for 2. But I would fade this game. But I like the Cleveland Browns. I'll go Cleveland Browns in this one. And this is just another edition of the Steelers gauntlet. It's the Browns. Next week is the Bengals. Then you got the Browns again. Then you got the Eagles. You got the Ravens. You got the Chiefs. And you have the Bengals. It is crucial for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the games against the Browns because you don't know who you're going to get your wins. You don't know where your other wins are coming from at this point in the season. Like there are some teams that can look up and say, all right, I got the Giants in week 15. We get a win there. Not the Steelers, not this season. They have to, and the 2-8 team that they're playing, they don't like to play the Cleveland Browns. So you have to get the win in this game if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't know. I mean, after seeing them beat the Ravens last week, I know a lot of us were pretty low on the amount of wins that they're going to get for the rest of the season, especially Max and I. And I mean, after them beating the Ravens, I might have to shut my mouth here pretty soon. But I think this is quite honestly a pretty big one for the Steelers because, like I said, it's a race to 10 wins. And I feel like that's pretty safe that's a pretty safe number if you want to make it into the playoffs, right, BB?
I think 10 wins in the AFC will I think that'll definitely get you in the playoffs. It might be close coming down the stretch if it'll get you in the playoffs, but I think it should. But I heard that there's a different game that Vegas is making a call on. Every single parlay this weekend is going to have that Kansas City Chiefs money line in there just as an extra leg, add a little more juice. And I heard they're back in the Brink truck up to the bank, and the Panthers are going to pull off a crazy upset. How about Max? You're over there shaking your head. Is there anything? What if like the Panthers win? Like, can you do like the cinnamon challenge or something?
Yeah, if the Panthers win, I'll do the cinnamon challenge on Monday's episode.
Book it. Let's go.
We got how many witnesses? We got 2 witnesses on that. Max, no drink the whole episode, and you have to be a part of the whole episode.
Oh my god.
Or we can just do like what we used to do. Like whenever we would have those little Madden tournaments, like we just get to make you a random concoction out of the fridge.
Yeah,
you kind of have to drink it.
No, that ain't happening. I'm not drinking mayo, mustard, relish, and a
an
deviled
egg.
egg in there. Yeah. I ain't doing that.
Throw in some Worcestershire sauce. No, let's go.
Some Miracle Whip. I ain't doing that.
Cinnamon challenge is funny though. I like that. There we go. Zach was a witness to the Madden tournament. He can live something up.
Wow. Maybe that can be maybe that can be a fantasy punishment. next year.
Okay, speaking of that, how are you feeling going down the home stretch here in the fantasy league?
He's toast. He's toast. I think
Yeah,
last week of the year he has like 4 people on bye. 3 people on bye.
This guy, BB, can you tell? I don't even know when my players are on bye. And this guy's talking last week of the season. This guy's like, my goodness. I don't know why I have haters like that, but like, yeah, it's not looking good for me right now. Probably be in the poop bowl with Z. But truth is, I was doing some math, and there is a way. There is a way. If I can go undefeated, and I think there's a lot of people that can go defeated, not win another game. And I kind of move my way into that playoff spot. And if that happens, it is Jover for the entire league.
You feel
the least
confident in
amount
the
of
poop bowl?
points scored by like 150. So you're gonna have to be putting up points. Because if it comes to a tiebreaker, that's what the tiebreaker is. Day 6 of dogs.
Yeah, that is a good question. I probably should know the answer to that question. I think it's just 1 week, right?
It is 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay, should it be 1 week though? Like
We
really?
say this every year. I don't think it should be 1 week, but it is.
I don't think you can change it in the app. I'm pretty sure that's why it stayed the same. I don't think you can change it.
Yeah.
Unless
So
we
it's 1
unless we
week for all the glory.
manually kept up with it, which we could do.
Nah, dang, dude. I mean, so
You
the
feel
punishment
confident?
is
You feel confident
9.
against Z's team in the poop
I'll
bowl?
be honest,
If that
I
were
feel-
the matchup,
I feel confident just about every single week my team straps up. I get it. I have the least amount of points in the league, but I refuse to sit here and say I have a bad team. Olave's been out the entire season. That's a bad beat. JT hasn't been able to get anything going. He's a good running back. I don't really know what's happened with JT, but that's been a struggle bus. Aaron Rodgers, hey, what's up, dude? You're absolutely shambling not only your general manager's job, not only your head coach's job, not only the offensive coordinator's job, but Garrett Wilson and my fantasy football team are struggling big time because of Mr. Aaron Rodgers. So that has been a brutal break. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've had it
First
bad.
week with Marv.
did y'all see that report that came out yesterday that not only did the Jets owner, everybody's saying they would be extremely shocked if Rodgers is back next year, but also in like a team meeting on September 30th, the owner of the Jets was saying we need to bench Aaron Rodgers, and the coach and GM were like, nah, and he said, you're not listening to me. You guys are both gone. You guys are both canned. I mean, who's your backup? Oh yeah, Tyrod. We talked Tyrod.
Hank has the worst team in the league. I don't even think it's close. He's rolling out Calvin Ridley, Jawan Jennings, and Austin Eckler and Najee Harris every week. That is awful.
I'm pretty sure Juwan Jennings gave me 25. So
if you go to the waiver wire in our league, you're legitimately looking at wide receiver 4s. That's your best option.
Nick Westbrook Akine is the top waiver wire.
Does that guy even get 30% of snaps?
He's wide receiver 71.
That's our best guy.
Still might be better than Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened with Jalen Waddle this year.
Does that make you feel a little sick about the JSN for Waddle trade?
I mean,
seeing JSN just absolutely, he's been tearing. It's like the best stretch of his career, I think, right?
Yeah, he's been tearing it up. I mean, I still have a little hope in Waddle that I just don't really know why he's not a huge part of their offense anymore. I don't really get it. I mean, I feel like every year he's just slowly regressing more and more.
I know why. Johnny Smith. The Johnny Smith revived.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
He's getting plays drawn up for him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody
Has
can
Waddle
take
gotten
a
the
tight end
box
screen to the
one time?
house.
One
Yeah,
time.
Jonnu Smith was better than Kyle Pitts in Atlanta last year. I remember everybody
Yeah.
was pissed
I-
when
I-
Jonnu
this-
Smith ate in Atlanta.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. I'm done with that guy. He's on the way. Actually, no, I think Caden picked him up, but I was officially done with that guy.
I got to bring this up. This is interesting. Woody Johnson is Johnson and Johnson money, and I'm pretty sure he is on Trump's advisory board and will go work in Europe during Trump's term. Who
Wow.
knows what the Jets will do? So this could also be why Aaron Rodgers is coming in and just blowing it up, because I'm pretty sure didn't Aaron Rodgers have some whole deal with the vaccinations and Johnson and Johnson, and now he's the QB for the squad, and man, he's coming and he's stunk it up.
He's self-sabotaging. That could be a crazy day. He's self-sabotaging to
Certified
ruin
saboteur.
to put the Jets in the dumpster until 2040.
To take, who knows? I have no clue.
Um,
He was extremely
man.
stoned on ayahuasca, and he was like, "Yep, that's my next plan. We're going to the
Yeah.
Jets, and we're ruining them."
Did y'all see? I just want to kind of know what y'all think. So Mike Evans, to keep his streak alive, he's officially back this week. He has 355 yards. He's got 7 games left to do it. You think he can do it?
It's
He's
doable.
got to average about 95 yards, 100 yards a game.
Yep.
It's definitely doable. Because I mean,
One of these
he's
gonna happen.
capable. That's what I was gonna say. He's capable for the explosion where he can go for 200 on 8 catches.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Bucks are. I think late in the year, maybe like the last 2 weeks of the year, if he's like remotely close, like he needs like still like 400 yards, I think we might be seeing 17 target games from Mike Evans.
Yeah, I mean, Baker literally said, "It's in the back of my head. I'm thinking about it."
Yeah,
But
I
we
mean,
do
how
have-
can it not be? I mean, it's
yeah.
it's the longest streak ever. So,
I'm sure he gets a juicy bonus every single time he gets to a game.
oh yeah, probably an extra mil.
I mean, they got to play the Panthers twice. Having J.C. Horn on you, that's gonna be an outlier in his stats. You know what I mean? Like that'll
Yeah.
definitely be a 20 or 30 yard game. So he's gonna have to boom against the Falcons or something.
I don't know if they've already played the Saints twice, but Marshawn Lattimore
lucky.
not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, he's lucky Lattimore's gone because that'd be 2 DQs. So he don't have 5 games left.
Yeah, literally.
Straight.
His final,
straight
his,
hate.
Yeah, play the Saints.
his final box score would have been 2 receptions, 3 targets, 17 yards, 5 punches thrown, and a disqualification.
I'm pretty sure. I think they already did play him twice though.
Dude, I don't
The-
remember the Buccaneers playing the Saints.
I know they played once this year because Mike Evans had a terrible game. Like always.
Did you just sprinkle in like always?
Against the
The
Saints.
Saints.
I see. Yeah, they play the Saints in the last week of the season. They got the Panthers next week. So
Yeah, Mike Evans' first game against the Saints, 2 catches for 30 yards.
that's good. All right,
can't
Max. I
control-
gotta bring this up real quick just to get your reactions on the old college football playoff bracket. The Alabama Crimson Tide, who I would assume you are repping the hardest this season. Who knows who will be next season? But Alabama is sitting at 9 right now. How do you feel about Alabama's path to the college football national championship?
I mean, I like it. I don't think they'll be 9 at the end of the year. I think Indiana is going to lose against Ohio State, so that'll drop them hopefully out, but they'll probably drop them to like 11 or something. And I think Bama will just move up 1 to 8, which would move Ole Miss to 10. Good grief. I don't know. I still feel like it's too early, but I mean, as of right now, I mean, I like them going to Notre Dame and whooping them. Then I mean, playing Oregon, I mean, I feel like I'd rather play Oregon than Texas. I mean, I said it the last time we talked about the college football playoff, but I mean that 5 seed is a cheat code. They have to do something about it. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Me and Zach were talking on the phone after our episode yesterday, and I think we were understanding it wrong. Like the Big 12 and ACC are not guaranteed to have a team in the field. It is the 5 highest ranked conference winners. So it could be the Big 10, the SEC, the Big 12. For say this is the ACC not making it. The Big 10, SEC, Big 12, Mountain West, and then say Army is ranked higher than Miami come the final selection because they win out and they win their conference. They get the automatic bid, and the ACC just doesn't have a team in. So it's not like the Big Four automatically get one. Yeah, it's not like the Big Four automatically get one in. It's the 5 highest ranked conference winners, which Zach, because Zach called me. He was like, just so you know, you guys like keep talking about it wrong. But so he corrected.
I did not.
It probably will never happen, but it could.
Army,
but it could for the Big 12. It could because Colorado, if they win and they're like ranked 15, and then say if I'm just saying if Army were to win, they would move up to like 14, then the Big 12 would have no teams in.
Dude, Colorado's got some tough games coming up, dude. They play Kansas, and I'm pretty sure they play Arizona State, who's scorching hot. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be tough for them to win out. I hope they do, but
I think Kansas. I mean, Kansas is. We were talking about it yesterday. Kansas is a wrecking ball right now. BYU is on the brink now. They might not even make it in. They ruined it for Iowa State. Like Colorado could be next on the chopping block.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas was ranked pretty high preseason. I think quarterback's just been terrible. Jalen Daniels. Their running back's a beast. Devin Neal, he is a bowling ball. But yeah, I guess it just took them 10 weeks to figure out how to play football. So
Reese Davis keeps saying that was his worst take of the year, that he had Kansas making the college football playoff, and now they're 4-6.
But then he always sprinkles in, but they do have the chance to decide who does make it into the college football playoff. It's like, all right, all right, there you go. But yeah, it's true. They do have the chance to. I don't think Colorado loses. I mean, they're only 3-point favorites. It's the same story as the last couple of weeks. Why is a team that is, at this point, are they 8-2? Is that right? Colorado 8-2?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is the team that is 8-2 going into a team that's 4-6 now, and they're only favored by 3 points? The same story was last week with BYU. BYU is undefeated. They're 9-0. They're playing a 3-6 Kansas squad. Why are they only 2.5-point favorites? Vegas is doing it again. And I think, like you were saying, Max, I think this is the week where people try and we caught on to Vegas. It's because Kansas is going to win. There's going to be money on Kansas. But no, Colorado is going to bust that tail, and they are going to be this team that is in the Big 12 championship, wins the Big 12 championship, moves into the college football playoff, and everybody gets to watch Colorado get into it with some of the best teams in the country. And that is something that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm excited to see it. To see it.
I would love to see Ryan Williams being guarded by Travis Hunter. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna sprinkle in that. I'd love to see Colorado whoop up on Ohio State.
I mean, of course, everyone would love to see that.
I wouldn't say everyone. I don't. What exactly is your what is your quarrel with the Buckeyes, bro?
It's not just the Buckeyes, it's just the Big Ten. I think it's just a fraudulent conference.
All right, Max, I gotta get your take on this. We got We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 games that could have major implications on the college football playoff this weekend. We got number 5 Indiana at number 2 Ohio State. Ohio State's minus 12. We got number 9 Ole Miss at Florida. Ole Miss is minus 11. We got number 4 Penn State at Minnesota. Penn State is minus 11. We got number 16 Colorado at Kansas. Colorado minus 3. Number 19 Army at number 6 Notre Dame. Notre Dame's minus 14. And number 7 Alabama at Oklahoma. Alabama minus 13.5. All these high-ranked teams are playing away. Is one of these teams losing this weekend? Every single one of them is playing away.
Man,
Do we have any shakeup this week? Those are 6 huge games.
I think that I think one team will lose. Pinpointing the loser is gonna be it's kind of tricky. If I had to guess, Penn State is definitely up there for me.
I would love to see.
I would
Penn
love to
State
see
lose.
Penn State lose, and then I mean, I'm not. The second one I have to say is Kansas because Ohio State's not losing, Bama's not losing, Ole Miss. I think Florida's trash. Although Florida is, I think they're like either they're like
They're high
undefeated,
right now. They're high right
or
now.
they've only lost one game when that freshman quarterback plays. So
DJ Lagway, baby.
but I'll say Penn State and Colorado better bring their A game, or they're out of the college football playoff.
Is Indiana out of the college football playoff if they lose one game?
Probably not. Which sucks.
I mean, I feel like it definitely depends on how they lose. If they get rocked by like 30, then I mean they're going to be out, of course. But if they lose by 1 score on the road, that's not good enough to knock them out. I think Z hit on something juicy here. Army and Notre Dame is at Yankee Stadium. And Max, you didn't mention this one, but I think Notre Dame is 100% on upset watch. I like Notre Dame is. We need to see it. We need to see them win one of these big games. We've talked about it time and time again. They lost to Northern Illinois at home. They're playing a team in Army that has the entire cavalry rolling in to Yankee Stadium. And I don't know if Marcus Freeman and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have enough for the Black Knights this week. And I think that it's going to be a situation where Army is going to run the ball the entire second quarter and Notre Dame doesn't touch the rock one time. And if that happens, Army's going to win the football game. I think that is a team. Go ahead.
Isn't Army in Brooklyn?
It's outside of it's West Point, New York, I believe. So I mean, it's like
I would love to see that thing just jam packed with Army fans. Dude, I would love it.
Dude, I mean,
Zach made a good point. Me and Zach were talking yesterday. He made a good point. Their name just mollywops Navy, and Navy and Army have the exact same offense.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't think Army has the athletes and the big boys to compete with a high caliber team like Notre Dame. I mean, sure, Notre Dame, yeah, they are always fraudulent, but like Army, dude, what like are we kidding? Like they're having a Cinderella run, but like that shit's coming to an end this weekend. Riley Leonard, I could see it being a very low scoring game. I do think it'll probably be low scoring because I do think Army is gonna have shoe clock on, just trying to keep their offense on the field as long as possible. But I don't think. I mean, if Marcus Freeman loses this game, he's out.
I would love to see Army get the ball first and just go ahead and shoot 12 minutes of that clock, score a first possession, triple option all the way down the damn field. That would be so lit.
You talk about size, Max. You talk about size. You can't tell me Northern Illinois had a bunch of size. You can't tell me that.
But Notre Dame also went into Kyle Field, who broke the record for attendance in a single game and won. Like, in Texas A&M, a very good team.
Yeah. Maybe Northern Illinois just has Aura Max, but I feel like it's not. I feel like that's going to be a team that's on upset watch, and so is Ole Miss. Me and BB were talking, and BB's not completely comfortable with Ole Miss in this game at Florida because DJ Lagway is playing this week. Florida played Georgia pretty tight before they had to make the switch to the walk-on quarterback. And did they play Tennessee or it was Texas that Florida played? And Texas got to fade playing DJ Lagway. But I think the Florida team, I think Ole Miss is going to end up winning this game, but I do think that is definitely a scary trap sort of situation for the Ole Miss Rebels. BB, how do you feel about your Rebs going into Florida this week?
I mean, it's definitely everybody's been pooping on the Gators all year long. They got a chance to end somebody's season. They just had a big win against LSU. They got their quarterback. They just had a big game against LSU. I think Florida's going to be fired up, ready to play. I know their coach is because everybody's been shitting on him all year, saying he needs to be fired. And so I think Florida's definitely going to be ready to play. I don't think they've quit on the season at all. In Ole Miss, I think it's the same situation as they had against Georgia. Hopefully they keep that mindset. We have to win out. Like, it's simple as that. It doesn't matter who we're playing. Like, we got to dominate. So hopefully they keep that mindset and keep it rolling. But, I mean, I'll be tuned in. It'll probably be a good game.
Yeah, I'll be watching. There's a lot of hate going on with the Penn State squad, especially from, you two guys. I get it. Like, it's easy to say Penn State is no good. It's easy to say Penn State can't win the big game, but let's just watch a little bit of Abdul Carter. This is like Micah Parsons Jr., okay? On the defensive side of the ball, when you're able to bull rush, you're able to spin, you're able to make every move happen. Look at that spin move, and look how fast that pocket collapses. This is why a Big Ten team like Penn State has the opportunity to beat anybody in the country, because it's not just Abdul Carter that's getting home. It's that the entire front seven that's making noise. And I feel like they put so much pressure on the quarter. Look at this guy. Would you not like this in Carolina? Are you not entertained by this guy? Come here. Come here.
He looks ridiculous.
He's a beast.
He looks ridiculously athletic, and like I think I was telling you yesterday, this is his first year as being a true pass rusher. He's more been like an off-the-ball, coverage linebacker, so he doesn't really have the full development. And what I'm seeing so far is he's already got a nasty swim move and a nasty spin move with unlimited speed and bend. Like, look at that move right there.
See the way he comes around, unlimited speed. The way he comes around that corner, it's like that is game-wrecking for any team to have to deal with. I don't know if there's any clips in here, but there's some stuff of Abdul Carter versus Ohio State, and it's like,
we need this guy in Carolina.
If you really let him get going, it's terrifying. You know what I'm saying? So that is a big reason as to why Penn State has the top 5 ranking. It's not just because of Katron Allen and the offense. They have the trenches figured out, I believe. And that's a scary team. It's a scary team still, even though they lost to the Buckeyes. I feel like we're knocking Penn State more than we're giving praise to the Buckeyes, which doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I mean, after what did we just watch? A minute-long clip? I think you can go ahead and book it. If that guy's on the board when the Panthers pick, he's coming to the Panthers. I think you can book it.
Yeah. Did you see the speed that this dude has?
And especially if we still have Ijero running the defense. I feel like this guy would be what he wanted Brian Burns to be, where sometimes he would drop into coverage, which why are we dropping Brian Burns into coverage? But I feel like this guy would be that perfect player for that role.
Yeah. I agree. I'd love to have the guy. I mean, his speed is I feel like that is elite.
Yeah, he's got to be better than DJ Johnson. So he's got to.
He's got to be. I feel like that's really all we have for today. I feel like I'm gonna I'm gonna let Jim Harbaugh break us out today, though. I'm gonna let Jim Harbaugh break us out.
Can fuel you. It can be like an attaboy. The other side of that coin is I can just go back to what my college coach, Bo Schembechler, used to say, and Gary Moeller, who was the defensive coordinator. He would say, when people are giving you accolades and compliments and telling you you've arrived, that kick them in the shins. You kick them right in the shins. That's what you do. And those accolades could come from, could come from people you don't know, could come from the media, could come from your teammates, could come from friends, could come from your own family. They're trying to make you soft.
Harbaugh says, if people are just trying to give you flowers left and right, give you the accolades, tell you already made it just because you've done a couple things. The Chargers are playing some great football right now. They're 7-3, but let's not talk too much about it because he wants more. And I feel like that is a really good Harbaugh is hilarious, but I think the message is pretty freaking cool. Like, just keep grinding. Just keep freaking grinding no matter what people are trying to say, the good or the bad, whether people are trying to bless you, tell you that you've done it all already. Just keep your head down and keep grinding. And I hope that you guys do that. We're definitely going to do that here with Unlocked. And we're just going to go ahead and break it out, fellas. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Tick, tick.
Boom.
Later.